Hello everyone. So now in this today's video session, we are going to continue the next concepts. So selectors, different types of selectors. So in last video session, we discussed about three different types of selectors. Okay. So which are the three different types of selectors we discussed in last video session? Element selector, and then class selector and ID selector. So the next type of selector is attribute selector. Okay. So attribute selector is an selector. So here we are in the place of selector, we are going to provide the attribute name instead of element name. How in element selector we place the elements in the place of selector, means we are for which element you are going to design, that element name we represent. In that same way, we can also design for attributes. Okay, so for that we are using attribute selectors. So now for attribute selectors, in the place of selector, we have to mention the attribute name. Okay, so an attribute selector provides the way to select HTML elements either by presence of an element attribute or by the value of an attribute. This can be very powerful technique. So here in attribute selector, you can be select or you can design the particular element by using the attribute name, or you can also take the attribute name, particular attribute value. For particular value also you can design. Attribute selector can be a very helpful technique in the styling of hyperlinks and images. Mainly these attribute selectors are mainly used to styling the hyperlinks, means your anchor tags and as well as image tags. So here we have one example. Next we see how that attribute selector will work. So we already know for anchor tag, so we use two attributes. One is href and another one is title. Okay, just like image, for image we are using source for representing the path of the image, and then alternate alt attribute is used for providing alternate name. If the image will not get loaded, that alternate name will be displayed. But in that same way, for anchor tag, we have two attributes. One is href, hyper reference. There we are mention the path of the file, means which file or which URL you are going to link, that you represent. If that URL is not present, then we mention the title. Title means, so if that URL is not get connected, if it is not present, or if you enter wrong URL, so then the title will be displayed. For the title, mainly we used underscore blank, means sometimes if your page will not get loaded, it will showing some error message or some blank page. Okay, and then underscore parent. Sometimes if that page is not available, if you mention underscore parent, so then it will jumps to the parent page, means that main web page. Okay, so here we are applying the properties to that particular attribute. So here you see, so title, so this title is actually an attribute to providing the title to an image. So by using title attribute, you can provide the title to an image. Okay, so I already told we have four main core attributes of HTML. One is class, ID, and another one is style. We already know how to use style, and then why we use ID and class. So and then we have another one, title. So this title attribute is used to provide a title to an a particular image or particular data. Okay, or for particular hyperlink. So how it displays, so are you observed in some of the web pages, so if you move your cursor to the particular element, some pop-up like message will be displayed like this. See here in this video. Okay, sorry, in this example, see here. So this data will come, right? Category documentation, something is there, right? Category downtown, category downtown. Okay, category downtown. So this information will be displayed when you move your cursor. If you want to make your image, means if you want to display the image like this, when you move your cursor above that image, so for that we use title attribute. So here you see the three images they inserted in this code. Try to execute this code in your system. Okay, so for title, so for displaying this area, okay, for this area we need to fix. Okay, for fixing this area, we are using this attribute selector. So here, which one is the selector? Title. So that title for attribute selector we mentioned within a square braces. Okay, so but in element selector we directly mention the element name. But here for attribute selector, to represent this one is an attribute. Why? Because title is working as both element as well as selector, sorry, attribute, element as well as attribute. Okay, that's why for representing or to separating the browser will know the title. This you are going to design for title element or attribute. We already know in ed we are using title element, right? So that title element is what that element to display the title to your web page. Okay, that one is element, but this one is an attribute. Okay, so to differentiate these two, for attribute selector you represent it within a square braces. So square braces inside that title. So cursor help means for displaying different types of cursors. Help cursor or busy cursor. Sometimes if your file is get downloading, loading data, there that circle images will come. Okay, busy image. Okay, like that. If you want to, if your cursor will be show some information for that symbol icons. Okay, cursor help cursor will come. Okay, and then padding bottom that I will explain next. Border bottom. So for this border bottom, 2 pixel dotted blue. Okay, and then text decoration none. Text decoration is used to underline, overline, or line through. Okay, none means it will remove the underline. Why? Because for anchor tags by default underline will come. If you want to remove that one, then you have to mention the text decoration none property. So here in the place of selector, you mention the title. So that too within square braces you have to mention the title. Then your browser will thought that this one is a attribute. This one is an attribute. Okay, so then if you move your cursor, so then it will display like this. If you want to give background color to this one, okay, to this pop-up message information, then you can give background color. So this one is attribute selector. So this attribute selector is you can select if you just directly mention a attribute name, then it's okay. But for property value, we have to use some pattern matching concepts. So that next we see that pattern matching concepts. So here you see, so how this example will be displaying. Okay, here you see, here this one, when you move your cursor, okay, so cursor help symbol here, it will displaying, and that information is get displaying. Okay, here this one is the information they written here. Okay, so Calgary downtown. Okay, for the third image. So if you move to the second image, Grace Presbyterian and Church. Okay, the church name, and at the top of sulfur mountain, this one will be display when you move cursor here. Okay, all for all these three, this title attributes design will get applied. Okay, so next, pattern matching, particular value if you want to apply. So if you just mention a selector within a square braces, that will apply to the particular attribute, match any element with the title attribute. Okay, if you mention like this. So equal to your, if you want to assign only to the particular value of the title. Here you see in this example, so 3 titles are there and the 3 different values are there. But I want to apply only for at the top of sulfur mountain value. Then for that you have to use assignment operator. So title is equal to particular data for which value you are going to apply. Okay, then it will match us only to that particular element. Okay, so there you have to mention the tag name, specify the attribute with specific value. Okay, and then negation or equal to is a specific attribute whose value matches at least one of the words in the space delimited list of words. So you already know pattern matching. So negation value means at least one word it will be matches in that particular value. Okay, title negation are equal to countries. So in your titles here in this example, we don't have common words, right? So assume here also we have church and here also we have church. So at least one word, that word we need to match. So then you have to use negation symbol. Okay, and then caret symbol, the specified attribute whose value begins with the specific value. This one is regular expression, right? Pattern matching. So if you want to match that word begins with that particular data, means here you see href of just an attribute for anchor tag, caret or equal to mail to. Okay, your href will be linked to href value will be start from mail to, then for all those elements it will get applied. And then star or equal to a specific attribute whose values contains a substring. Okay, so a substring, that value having some substring particular data, substring value is present or not. If it is present, then it will apply that features. Then for that we are use star or equal to, asterisk symbol or equal to, dollar or equal to a specific attribute whose values end with a specific value. So a specific value end with a specific value means here caret we use for that value begins with some particular pattern or characters. So for dollar, it ends with specific value. $.pdf, it ends with .pdf. For all those things, all those files, this feature will get applied. Okay, I hope you all understand. This one is pattern matching. In this way, for attribute selector, you can select the different types. If you want to directly apply to particular attribute name, then no worry. Within square bracket, you can write the attribute name. But for values, different types of values, you can use equal to, negation or equal to, caret or equal to, asterisk or equal to, and dollar or equal to. Okay, so next one is pseudo elements and pseudo class selectors. So pseudo elements and pseudo class selectors, so you already know. Okay, you already know, and then you observe the difference. So what it mean in the sense, if you are moving your cursor to a particular element, are you observed in so many websites? Okay, particular element, so that data's color will get changed, that data's or images for size will be get increased. Okay, just like animation effects, so it will have some difference, and then difference means it changes its original position to another position, or it changes its original visibility to some other different visibility. So for when it will happen, when you move your cursor to the particular data. So that type, if you want to apply properties, okay, for that we use pseudo element and pseudo class selector. A pseudo element selector is a way of selecting something that does not exist explicitly as an element in the HTML documentary, but which is still a recognizable selectable object. But actually they are not recognized, but we are using this one mainly. For instance, you can select a first line or first letter of an HTML element using pseudo element. Means if you want to select a particular first line, means in a paragraph, if you want to apply design only to the first word or first letter or first line, okay, only for first line or last line, okay, for that we are using pseudo element. Pseudo class selectors does apply to an element but targets either particular state or in CSS3 a variety of family relations. Okay, we have plenty of relations, pseudo classes are there. Okay, don't worry, now you have only basics. Okay, so here the following tables, so will represent some of the pseudo classes. So here you see, so mainly the pseudo classes are mainly we are assigned to anchor tags. Anchor tags, why? Because linking tags. Okay, so link tag, so that's why we are using pseudo classes. Okay, so here you see first one is link a link. Okay, a colon link. How you represent this one? The pseudo class we represented in the place of selector. First you have to specify the element name, and then you put a colon followed by pseudo class or pseudo element name. See here, a is an element, right? Anchor tag colon link. So for that particular link, if you want to apply design, first you have to specify the element name colon link. So this pseudo class select the link have not been visited. If you not been visited, that link it will be selected. So a colon visited. This one is also visited. Okay, these are all pseudo classes. Link visited focus. Okay, selects link that have been visited. So this one will be visited. Are you observed in browser? If you first press one link, okay, so first that color will be common for all the links. Okay, if you already visited, that color will get changes. If you want to apply that properties, then you have to use this link and visited. Okay, focus. So are you observed in some links, in some links, so first line or middle, which one is the important? Okay, which one having the higher priority, that one will be start blinking. Okay, it will be focusing means it will be some difference. Okay, so for that one we are using focus. And then input field, if you are filling any online document, so first name field will be highlighted, focus. Okay, for that focusing input field we are using focus. And then h over, this one is used for this one is applied when you are move your cursor above that particular data or image. Okay, just like title, but title is an attribute, but this one is a pseudo element. So if you want to, now I already told, right? So if you move your cursor to the particular element, its size is increases, its font size increases or decreases to a particular data when you move your cursor. Okay, for that mainly we use h over. This focus we mainly used in input fields. Select elements that have been input focus. H over select elements that mouse pointer is currently above. Active means which link will be get activated. That link color you need to change. And then checked we used for mainly for checkboxes for checking that that checkbox is currently checked or not. So and then first to child, I already told, if you want to apply the design for first to child means, so now assume we have div, inside the div we called a paragraph, so we have 3 paragraphs. In that 3 paragraph, if you want to apply design only for the first paragraph. Why? Because for div, if you have 3 paragraph, first paragraph will be the first child, and then last paragraph will be the last child. Okay, if you want to apply to the first child, so then we have to use first child only to the first paragraph. okay, and the first letter, okay, or first line of your paragraph. So if you want to apply the design, so for that we are using this type of selectors. Okay, listen here, this one is an example how to apply. So here they declared one navigation bar. Okay, now UL LI anchor tags 1 2 3 Canada, Germany, United States. The next the navigation bar is created. So here you see a link for that text decoration underline. You are not visited. If you not visited for particular link, so the text decoration is underlined. So if you already visited text decoration underline, so H over text decoration none. If you move your cursor to the particular data, so that cursor underline, what actually underlined, anchor tag link underlined, that one is removed. Okay, so font weight it will get bold, and then for link blue color, and then if I've already visited, then color will be changed to purple. So active means you already opened in that next tab. Okay, for that background color yellow. Okay, try to execute this one and then see the output. Okay, so this one is regarding pseudo class and pseudo elements. So wait, I will show you one example. So that same code I copy from here, same code what they mentioned here, I copy from here. Okay, I didn't copy. Why? Because this one is image. Okay, so we can't copy that one. Okay, now I type, don't worry. Okay, so in this example I type, I try to type. So here, okay, so now I create two anchor tags, A to F. So just on dummy address hash I enter. Okay, hash. So I enter India, India. Mysore. Okay, so now if you want to design for this one, so then what we have to do? Okay. Okay, so a little bit different disturbance, don't worry. So here you see, so style. Okay, so and then here how you are going to apply a particular pseudo class anchor tag, first element name colon. So now I mention link, so link, so color red. Okay, so and then next one is visited already. If you are visited, so for that visited. Okay, and then next one is if you are active opened a new page, so color will be the, so here for this one yellow I give, and then means when it will get linked, then only it will create some you can see the proper output. Okay, so now this one, for this one purple. Okay, and then h over how you are applying h over, so anchor tag h over means when you move your cursor, and now I want to change the font size to 20 pixel, font size to 20 pixel. Okay, save this file and try to run, see the output. So see here India Mandia. Okay, when you move your cursor, see, so this one is a link, not visited links. Okay, these two are not visited, that's why their color is red. So now I press, so I visited. Okay, visited, then the color will get changes. So and then open a new page. Okay, so next it will be changes. Okay, it will not get connected. Why? Because we are not mentioned the link, that's why. Okay, so h over that will be like this. Okay, if you run it again, we already visited this link, that's why its color will be yellow. So in this way your h over link visited and active will work. So and then listen here, these two paragraphs I put it inside one div. Okay, so div tag, Here we have two paragraphs, right? So for these two paragraphs, which one is the first child? First paragraph will be the first child. Okay, I remove this class name and ID. Don't get confused. So for first child only, if you want to apply the style, so here you have to mention first the element name div. Okay, so div first child, first hyphen child and d child. Okay, for this one, font size. I want to increase the font size. So font size 30 pixel. Okay, only for first paragraph. Okay, okay. So here this one is not applying for particular div. Okay, so here what we have to do next, if you are not applying, in the sense we have to check whether it's we enter the correct value or not. See, colon first child, it's correct, but it's not displaying, in the sense, so your Chrome will version will not supporting. Okay, Chrome version will not support this feature. Okay, so try to run in different browser and see the difference. Okay, so now I hope you all understand so how that pseudo elements and pseudo classes of selectors will work. So next one is contextual selector. So this contextual selector is mainly based on the parent-child relation. Okay, ancestor, descendants, and siblings. So parent-child child relation, for that one we are using. So here the same thing you can apply for paragraph like this. Okay, by using contextual selector, you can apply the property div paragraph first child. Okay, for first child only you need to apply the future. Okay, so run it in Chrome. So now it's apply for first child. That's why told I will show you next. Okay, see here. So contextual, it's mainly based on the parent and child blood relation concept. So here we have four different types: descendant selector, child selector, adjacent sibling, and sibling. So in descendant, first you have to mention the parent name and child name in the place of selector. Div, okay, here for div, inside div paragraph, if you want to apply property and value, okay, this will apply to all the paragraphs inside that particular div. Okay, so and then ID, particular ID, first ID name. Okay, in ID name, which div is there? Okay, the div contains this ID name and then paragraph, and that first child and last child, for that last child you can apply, and then child only to the particular child only, not for grandchild. So here you see, so for this div paragraph, these two are the childs. Inside this paragraph, if you call another one tag called span tag, if you call this span is what? This span is a grandchild for this div. This one is not a child. Okay, so other instead of paragraph span also you can call another paragraph also. Inside this paragraph, if you call another paragraph also, this one is a child for this paragraph. Okay, this one is a grandchild for this div. Only if you want to apply a property to the childs, then you use child descendant selector. How it represent? First parent name, okay, and then greater than symbol, and then so element name. Okay, a specific element that is a direct child to of the specified element. So this one is specified element that is contained somewhere within the some specified elements. Means inside this div, which are all the descendants belongs to that div, which are all the elements are there. For all those things, it will be applied. So how we will represent div space element name, but for child div greater than symbol element name. Adjacent sibling. Adjacent sibling means for next sibling only. Next sibling. For this example, in this example, so now I add more paragraphs. So for this paragraph, this one is the adjacent sibling. Next paragraph is the adjacent sibling. If you want to apply to the next sibling, a specified element that is a next sibling, for that, if you want to apply the design, okay, then we have to use adjacent sibling. How you represent? First sibling name and then adjacent sibling name by using plus symbol. And then general sibling, if you want to apply to all the siblings, okay, so here this is a paragraph. For all remaining paragraph, if you want to apply, okay, for all, which are all the siblings are there for this paragraph, if you want to apply the features for all those things, then use general siblings. That general sibling we represented using negation. Okay, first sibling, for that which are all the general siblings, so for which siblings elements if you want to apply, that name you have to mention. by using negation symbol. Okay, this one is an example. So here you see this one for ULA. This one is descendant selector ULA. So here they declared navigation bar ULLI. So inside this UL, which are all the anchor tags are there for all those things. If you want to apply descendants, so for that you use anchor descendant selector, and then only for the child. So here the class contain ID name. Okay, the div contain the ID name main. Okay, main inside this ID you can also represent ID instead of element name. Okay, ID inside that which element is the time the child. For this ID child div child. So for that only if you want to apply, so for that we use child selector, and then here they are applying for first child. Okay, so like this you can apply the properties by using descendant selector. So selectors is an important question for your examination purpose. So we have 6 different types of selectors explained in this in your textbooks, in your syllabus. So one is first one element selector, class selector, ID selector, attribute selector, pseudo classes and pseudo elements, and as well as conceptual selectors. So in that conceptual we have descendants, child, siblings, general siblings, okay, adjacent siblings, okay, and then pseudo classes we have link active h over first child. Okay, so you have to know about this one. Okay, you have to execute these programs in your laptops. Okay, and then see the difference. So thank you, this completes your selector concept. Okay, now next we see next 2 videos we discussed about how style sheets are interact, and as well as the box model. Okay, these two are also a very important question, so that we discussed in next video session. Thank you, we meet in next video session. Okay, refer that video. If you get any doubt, please ask me.